Alright, in today's lesson 9.7, we're going to be looking at our objective of identifying three-dimensional figures. So let's take a look at some vocabulary, because most of this lesson is vocabulary. We have to be able to identify them. So a three-dimensional figure is a figure that does not lie in a plane. It has three dimensions. And I've written length, width, and height here. So the L, W, and H. Now a prism is a 3D figure with two parallel and congruent faces that are polygons. And these faces are called the bases. We identify the prism based on the base. So let's take a look at some examples of some 3D figures. So a cube is congruent. All the sides are the same. If we can really look at it, we could say that all the angles are 90, just like the square is. But a cube, all the sides are the same. And then a pyramid. A pyramid is a 3D figure with one polygon for a base. All other sides are triangles. So we could put any different shape down here for our base, and then we have triangles for all the other sides. Now a cylinder. A cylinder has two congruent parallel bases that are circles. So the difference between we can't have any other base besides a circle for it to be a cylinder. And then a cone has one base that is circular and one vertex. So when we have a circular base and then one vertex, everything goes up to a point, creating our cone. And a sphere is, or really it has no base. So we don't want to look at it saying that it's circle as a base, because there's really not a base to it. It's round, it's a ball. So let's take a look at identifying our different parts of a 3D figure. So flat surfaces of three-dimensional figures are called the faces. So a cube here has 6 faces. If we were to count them out, we would say, let me get a different color pen here. So I've got this back side, right? I've got the back, that'd be 1. I've got this left side, the right side, so that's 3. The bottom, 4. And then I've got the top, and so that'd be 5. And then I'd have the front face here, and that'd be 6. And then we have our edges. Our edges are the segments where two faces meet. And the easy way to think of this, an edge are the straight lines. And then last is our vertex. A vertex is a point where 2 or more edges meet. So we could count this up and say that I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 vertexes on this side, and then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 vertexes on the back. So there are 8 vertexes altogether. We don't want to double up when we count these. And when we draw 3D figures, we use dashed lines to indicate hidden edges. Now we have to name them. So naming a prism. Again, we say that we get the name of our prisms based upon what the base is. So each base is a octagon in this example. So I have, not to say I have a rectangle on each side here, but the base is what it's flat on. Or what is laying on there. So I have octagon, as I have an octagon there. So 8-sided figure, so it's a octagonal prism, or octangular prism. Identifying our 3D figures. So 3D figure shown, the figure is a triangle that I can see here with a square or rectangle base. So the figure is a rectangular prism. I call it a rectangle, or it's not a square prism, but rectangular. That'd be our 4-sided base here. And then since it goes up to a point with triangles on each side, then we call it a prism. So naming our prisms, go ahead and try. So we have our first one. We have a pentagonal prism, a pentagon for each base. I have a rectangular prism, rectangle on the bottom, the base there, and then a triangular prism. And then the 3D figure shown, this is a cone, and then we have a cylinder. That's the end of 9.7. Pretty simple. It is a lot of vocabulary, but we have to be able to identify our shapes, not mixing them up.